What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. April 30th, 2019. The Federal Outrage Chancellor Nick Jordan here, reporting the outrage of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Good motherfucking evening to you. Oh, we're gonna get into it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's that 2-scoop Americana Supreme. You guys know what the fuck it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're defending Western civilization one natty light at a time. I'm wondering if that guy is going to come back who was making reference to the secrets of 9/11. I tried to do some research, and goddamn every video this dude suggested was like over 2 hours long. And can a brother get a timestamp? All right, I'm out here running around doing Postmates, trying to get my rent together. You know, I'm going on stage. I'm coming on here and I'm talking shit to the Outrage crew. It's only so much time in a day for an Americana young man, right? But we all know, cheap Jewish man knows. 2 scoops, 2 genders, 2 terms. That's how it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden is definitely not going to do anything about it. The Dems have a bunch of lame ducks. I got my 2 scoops here. I got 2 scoops of Dragon Energy, dude, overflowing. And I just need a timestamp to figure out whether or not, you know, Israel pulled off 9/11. We came to the conclusion, you know, on a couple of podcasts ago that it was Bill Cosby who did 9/11. You know, he gave those towers some Spanish fly, and they went down hard. All right, and that's what they didn't report. That was the cover-up, that Bill Cosby was at ground zero taking advantage of the rubble that went down that day. And it's just... that's why they really went after him, all right? They told these women, you know, the true story about 9/11, and they came out, you know, and did a noble deed by making up those stories against Bill Cosby. And we're all thankful as Americans. I've still yet to see any evidence that it wasn't, you know, the 15 out of 19 hijackers that were Saudi. And Osama bin Laden getting a little revenge for the double cross after we armed him and funded him and trained him, and then, you know, kind of left him, you know, to fend for himself there. Oh, how dare you, Cactus Jack, underdeveloped pecs and flat biceps. We're getting there, dude. We're getting there, all right? I mean, I got the curl bar, you know. I'm doing my Alex Jones impression more and more. I'm trying to get a thicker neck. All right? I need more neck. How are you supposed to defend Western civilization unless you got, you know, a whole lot of neck? You need a neck reserve, dude. You need extra neck. Aren't black women supposed to be good at cooking chicken? Well, god damn it. I did do what I was supposed to the other day after the gym. I ate my pizza, you know, and I had my pint of ice cream with the protein mixed in. Got that good 4,000 calorie day in. And that's all it takes, baby. You got to get that calorie surplus on the workout days. Otherwise, I stay on that scrambled eggs and broccoli, that, you know, them grilled up burgers and broccoli. Humble Electrician says, I need super male vitality. Well, you know, paypal.me/Outrage TV if you want to donate to the muscle fund. I'll get some light anabolics. I'll get an Anavar, little stack of Anavar. And well, yeah, protein is constant, Cactus Jack. It's constant protein with every meal, and then I got the protein powder up there. But then, on the workout days, you got to replenish that glycogen store with them carbs, baby. What up, Nitai? Tyranobol. I'm not quite fighting UFC yet. That might be a last second left turn in my career choices. I'm trying to go with some Anavar. All right. You can buy it off the internet, from what I understand. Pair it with some silly marin, and then you get some silly looking traps. But I'm already an intimidator on stage, dude. I don't want to get too hulking. Otherwise, everybody will just be trying to, join my commune, and and all the girls will be trying to get my number, and I'll be like, I'm just trying to do a set. Everybody simmer down. You can all join the commune. Am I the tallest there? I'm taller than most. I'm 6'2", pushing 6'3". Taller than most, dude. But I'm not a height supremacist. All right? I try my best not to look down on people. Oh, it's that voluntary commune, dude. We're not, we might stockpile some guns, but that's for defense. All right. And I will confiscate everyone's paychecks, but that's so that I can, as the federal outrage chancellor, it's just like the Federal Reserve chairman. I will decide, what, portion of your paycheck you get back, because fundamentally I know how to spend it best. Just like the Federal Reserve chairman. I need a compound up in the Hollywood Hills, and we're going to get it started, dude. What up, Kiki? She says add coconut oil and good fats as well. Chicken wings and cookie cereal won't work, Nick. I haven't had any cookie cereal in a while. I get down with the coconut oil. I'm on that grass-fed butter. I'm on that Kerrygold. That'll make some premium scrambled eggs, dude. Melt a little bit of it and drizzle it over the broccoli. But I'm that ectomorph, dude, and it's okay. I'll take that lean and mean all day. With too much mass comes a loss in quickness. I'm lightning fast. What up, Not a Bear? I hit him with that boss rootin', that ding-a-da-ding-a-da-ding. That fucking combo, dude. You gotta be slick with your combos and your foot movement. You gotta keep distance, throw some teep kicks. You know what I'm saying? You gotta cut angles. These are the excuses a man with, this level of bicep and shoulder development has to make. All right? I'm stick and move. My cardio is premium. But yeah, the guy who was claiming that Israel did 9/11 has been commenting on my videos after the fact. He has yet to join another live stream. Yeah, trannies get, those steroids because it's their true identity, Cactus Jack, all right? There was a tranny on stage, at the Fourth Wall tonight, and it was very unsettling because it was actually a trans man, I think. It, whatever it was talking about its pussy hair, and also it had, beard, hair. Somehow. Some just pure progressiveness, just growing, it looked a little pubic-like. I think they may have trimmed the pussy and put it on their face. I think that might have been what was happening. What up, Jacob for it? What up, player? But yeah, the trans men there, they get those steroids, and they're going to be wrestling in the girls division. All right, throwing them pins on bitches. Yeah, took time out from reading to kids. Well, that's the trans women. That's those satanic trans women out here with the demon horns and the sparkles. About time I bring a leftist on the stream and convert them to the right live. Well, they're all intimidated, dude. I got the communists shaking in their boots. There's a dude named Michael Regilio who's a pretty hard leftist, who's out here in the open mic scene. I've invited him on the stream multiple times, but he just wants to bullshit around with his own podcast where they talk about, just nonsense. He's the rational-minded guy, and this chick he does the podcast with talks about, what is it with the moon and the astrological astrology. And he just says astrology is bullshit, and that's the whole podcast. Oh my God, you innovative thinker. Oh. Meanwhile, he's applauding, when people bring up that we want to tax the rich at 70%. It's like, you are such a disingenuous cocksucker. Oh my God, how intellectual. We want to, sell our souls to the government and let them make all of our decisions for us. Blah, 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 blah. What's good, Elliot Brown? Just watched Jay Leno interviewing folks on the street asking questions. Can you name the Great Lakes? Also, can you name the countries? Yeah. They're, it's too easy with these interviews. We got to get out here and do some of this shit. I need a cameraman. Me and Heaven are about to fracture off, for the betterment of both of our lives. I need a goddamn, camera operator. I got a microphone. We'll see what the fuck happens, dude. What up, sweet chin? Get rid of money? Not a bear. That's not a solution. People always blame money, but the problem is when you have centralized control of money. Because money is just an exchange of value for goods and services. It's just that convenience. But the Jews took advantage of that convenience by inventing fractional reserve banking and telling you, oh, it's extra convenient if you just leave the gold with us and then take these pieces of paper. They're little IOU slips. Trust us. Meanwhile, as soon as you walk away, they're loaning your shit out to somebody else and making a profit on that interest. AJ will be the cameraman. Get your ass out here to LA, baby. All my friends are too busy fucking around bullshitting to defend Western civilization. I'm the only one who's committed. What up, Codex? That was a little half joke there that the Jews invented fractional reserve banking. That was an assumption on my part. It just seems true. Willing to be corrected. What up, Andrew? You say that too because you're a loser. None of your friends have the balls to defend Western civilization. Sometimes you got to have standards for friends, dude. If they don't want to step up, if they don't want to hit that grand slam, all right? If they don't want to crush and dominate, if they don't want to be that consensual Genghis Khan, you got to say consensual because Genghis Khan was a little bit heavy on the rape, but I'm that consensual Genghis Khan, All right, I'm developing my team of sneaks out here in Hollywood. I'm going to be wrapped up in Jewish bubble wrap. All right, I'm going to get some good ones on my team. We need the IQ horsepower. All right, I'm going to get them on my team. I'm going to get my team of sneaks, dude. We're going to come riding over that hill like the fucking Mongols, you know, and just voluntarily conquer shit. The men are going to be like, he's the natural leader. And the women are like, we all want to be with him, you know. I'm going to be like, settle down. I'm going to do some stand-up, you know, and then we're going to move on to the next to the next village here. I'm going to conquer you all ideologically. I may have some, you know, consensual Genghis Khan behavior with, you know, some of your women, you know, and then we're going to move on. All right, we got more territory to conquer. But yeah, sometimes you got to have standards, dude. You are who you surround yourself with. And, you know, if you got nothing but bullshit friends, sometimes you got to just move the fuck on. Because people will drag you down. I used to be like that back in Oklahoma, man. I had some nihilistic, fucking do-nothing friends with no mission. And that will drain your fucking energy, dude. You'll start to feel like you're in a fucked up state in your life. You'll start to feel like you're the fucking problem and you got social anxiety. But it's really like nobody's about shit in your social circle. So you're just like, we're just gonna hang out and smoke weed again, huh, fellas? All right, we're gonna play online video games all night. Okay. You know, and it's kind of been the same shit out here in LA. Oh, we're just gonna do cocaine, fellas, and play Call of Duty all night long, right? Oh, I was ready to write the screenplay and be a legend. What are you doing? Everybody wants to be a legend. Nobody wants to put in the work. Sometimes you just got to do it yourself. All right? Sometimes you just, you know, keep your balls full and your head high and you move on. Codex says, inventor of central bank's fractional reserve, Johan Palmstruck, was a Latvian-born Dutch entrepreneur. Ah, Latvian, in parentheses. All right, well, thanks for the info. You know, some of that Eastern European sneakery. I've seen Eastern Promises. I know what the fuck goes on, dude. Fractional reserve criminals. Who was involved in Bohemian Grove? I think, you know, according to Alex Jones, the Bush family was involved. I don't know. I've seen the footage that Alex took. Who the fuck knows? Out there worshiping that owl god. What up, Joe? Alphas aren't about controlling others. It's about being in control. Yeah, you got to control yourself and then be that example. That's what, you know, the West needs to do is focus on their own shit. You know, cut off these, you know, leech ass, deep state, you know, intelligence community people, you know, who are less about intelligence and more about power lust and trying to dominate the world instead of just actually defending the country. You know, the Department of Defense. But we're spread out, baby. We're spreading those tentacles out. You know, we're opening up shop, baby. We're toppling regimes, and God damn it, it's fun. Oh, it's fun, isn't it? We just topple regimes and scheme away at the grand chessboard of geopolitics. Oh, God. Had enough. Right? Bring the troops home. Have them build the wall. Bring Julian Assange home. Have him testify in front of Congress. All right. Let's all hear about Mr. Seth Rich. Let's investigate, Hillary Clinton's call logs on that fateful night when the patriot Seth Rich was struck down in his prime. Even though he was a dirty Bernie supporter, I don't know. You can wear American flag outfits, but he did validate his patriotism by supplying WikiLeaks with those DNC Podesta emails. That was, the call came from her bathroom. There were, nasty bowel movement noises in the background, and she didn't give a fuck. She's like, just kill him. Just kill him. And they're giving birth to demon spawn. It's what Hillary does in her downtime, dude. She wants to sell out the country while she's giving birth to demon spawn at the same time. Think that's what it is. Think the Jews just stole the idea of fractional reserve banking? Yeah. They're only creative when it comes to, comedy and subverting. Otherwise, they just go, go, go. Doesn't matter where you travel sometimes, Elliot Brown. Yeah, man, you got to have your own principles for how you live your own life, and then if people come on board, so be it. If they're going to help the cause, that's good. If there's mutual connection there and you can help each other out, all the better. But can't have people that are just nihilistic and about nothing in their lives around you while you're trying to succeed, because they're going to be pecking away at your aspirations and trying to drag you back down into their stupid horse shit that they're doing. And it's no good, dude. That's that downward spiral. Politicians do anything for money, baby. Yeah, the robbers just forgot to rob Seth Rich. That was the thing. Whoopsie daisy. We will consult our mugger manuals and we will do it properly next time. So sorry. But the one piece of important evidence in that case that never gets talked about, Stefan Molyneux brought this up. And also, there was this William Benny. It was in a podcast that Stefan Molyneux did with William Benny. He used to work at the NSA. And they were talking about how the data that was downloaded from the DNC servers and sent to Julian Assange was downloaded at such a speed that it had to be a local download, like onto a flash drive. Like it wasn't some hacking, like we're going to hack into the servers and download it to some remote location in Russia. We download the Podesta emails. We conquer America. It wasn't Putin's henchmen, hacking from across the sea there. We've got in. It was downloaded at such a speed it had to be local from inside the DNC. And then WikiLeaks comes out and says that Seth Rich was their source. And of course, that makes me a nutty conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, the entire mainstream media has purveyed a conspiracy theory on the American public for 2+ years. And they're still playing CNN in the gym, ladies and gentlemen, when you walk in there, broadcasting slavery reparations. White people are terrible. Donald Trump's a Nazi. Everybody, let's vote for sleepy, creepy Joe Biden. How about Joe? Ryderback, they didn't officially say it, but they did. There's an interview with Julian Assange where he gets asked point blank about Seth Rich, and it's a very, like, you can see in his body language, and he says, you know, well, I can't remember the exact quote, but Seth Rich was their source. You just look at that video, and he dodges, but it's a dodge with a wink. It's like they obviously don't want to have that reputation for giving up their sources. That's the entire reason why WikiLeaks exists in the form it does, or did, is they keep their sources anonymous. But at the same time, when something happens to a source like that, you want to validate it and, you know, counter the horseshit narrative that's being put out in the mainstream. Thank you, sir. Elliot Brown. Hillary came to New Zealand and said, we were doing very well. Worried the hell out of me. Alex was right about elites moving here while destroying the USA. Yeah, dude, they want to move to the Shire there. They want to move to Middle Earth and just live inside of a mountain if they can. All right? And I think a lot of that is the elites assuming that the deep state is going to be able to take down Donald Trump, and assuming if they're not able to take him down, he's just going to fumble and fuck it up anyway. And we're going to have some kind of dollar crisis or another financial collapse. It can be avoided, all right? If we take the necessary steps, we've got to build the wall, cut the welfare state, cut taxes even more, and cut the fuck out of spending. I think just bringing the troops home will cut the fuck out of spending enough, you know, for it to balance out with some extra, you know, activity in the economy. We get them small businesses kicking again, you know, break up some of these big horseshit monopolies, cut some of the regulations that are cutting out small business, and get that engine of Americana fired the fuck up, ladies and gentlemen. And stop spending all this money abroad that's not doing the country any benefit. It's just these leech-ass deep state intelligence people, and they're just profiting personally, you know, doing favors for their friends, setting up all these military bases all around the fucking world. And it's like, guys, might be time to stop. Do you want to kill the golden goose? Do you still want to live in America? I've got my money. I'm helicoptering to New Zealand. These fucking psychopaths. Cut and dry psychopathy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Codex. Send me some of them European dollars. I see you. I assume that was EU approved. EU approved transactions. Did you consult with the EU before you made that choice? The EU would like to have a say with you, sir. Did you consult us before you donated to that bigot online? That ravenous bigot. He supported Brexit. He makes fun of the EU on his podcast all the time. What up, McNasty? Gang, gang, baby. YouTube took it twice by mistake. Definitely the EU did it. Oh, man. I'm you know, I've got connections in the bureaucracy, dude. Thank you, Elliot Brown. He says the POMs never agreed to the euro. What are POMs? No TV license. That's why I'm on YouTube. Yeah, dude. Isn't the BBC publicly funded? That's just a slap in the face while they tell you how evil Brexit is. You know? What's good, primordial soup? Would I consider myself a Nick DiPaolo for the new millennium? I love Nick DiPaolo. you know. But, you know, his podcast is getting a little, you know, heavy on the dad jokes. But, you know, you can't disrespect the man's legacy. All right, Nick DiPaolo is awesome. All that time on Tough Crowd, you know. But he seems to have, you know, given up the fight somewhat. He moved out of New York and moved down to Georgia. And he's reestablishing the home base. I'm still out here on the front lines, dude. Taking on the leftists right in their face. But it's a young man's game. You know, I can't blame him. Palm equals prisoners of Her Majesty. Ah. Yeah, they didn't want that euro, dude. They should be able to have the control over their own currency. That's, you know, basic economics. Have some control over your runaway currency. Don't let a, you know, small room of Jews off in the distance flood your monetary supply and just have runaway inflation. And then they come into Congress and you know, alpha motherfuckers. We're not talking about any of it. And the cuckold congressmen are just like, okay, he has a really high IQ and we'll just let them figure it out. And I'm sure they have the secrets under their small hats. And please, just help me finance my campaign. Please, have my wife, Mr. Chairman, please. She's always wanted to be with a real sneak. You're the head sneak in charge. Just take her. What up, Burgess? We're talking about the value of having control over your currency. As soon as I get a little chunk of change, man, I'm investing in that crypto. You know, I want a deflationary currency. Holy fuck. The Attorney General resigned. Bill Barr resigned. It hasn't come through on the Drudge Report yet. Soros pushing Bitcoin. I don't care who the fuck is pushing Bitcoin. The fundamental economics of it checks out. There's a finite number of Bitcoin in existence. And people are always like, oh, what gives it value? Well, Bitcoin's not even valuable. It's like, do you understand what value is? Like, you know what's valuable? Being able to instantaneously transfer money from smartphone to smartphone with no middleman. And you don't need a bank. It's totally decentralized. Nobody's in control over the supply of Bitcoin. You know, the only way you can get Bitcoin is either by trading or by having giant supercomputers mine them. And there's a finite number in existence. You can't create any more Bitcoin. So just by the fundamental nature of it, it's deflationary and the price is going to go up over time. And it's not, you know, unlike gold, it's not, you know, the majority holders aren't the Rothschilds. Sweet Chin says you ultimately need a bank for cash. Well, I mean, if more stores would accept Bitcoin, you wouldn't need the cash. I know I missed a few comments here. I'm gonna come back and read some comments, but I got to disrespect you motherfuckers on the podcast real quick with the federal outrage flow. All right, rate me out of 10. I'm gonna come back and crack another beer. That's interesting if Bill Barr resigned because, you know, he seemed like he was gonna be based at first, and then he started cucking out, and I don't know what the fuck his deal is, dude. The headline on Drudge Report is Trump sues to block bank subpoenas. I don't know what the fuck that means. We're going to investigate, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the outrage flow. That's right, dude. We're keeping it hard and fast tonight. Hard and fast. Just like how all the leading Democratic candidates are going to go down. Hard and fast. Oh, Rod Rosenstein resigned. That's a good sign. I thought you were talking about Bill Barr. That's a good sign, dude. Rod Rosenstein resigned. He's feeling that hot water. All right? Because he was one of those back channel sneak motherfuckers talking about the 25th Amendment. You know, back there coordinating with McCabe about the insurance policy and all this, you know, slimy cocksucker bullshit. Sweet Chin says government currencies need to move to blockchain in order for the people to be truly free and independent. They won't allow that to happen. They in parentheses. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen through, government's not going to make the decision for you. It's got to be voluntary. We got to take our money out of these big banks. You know, you hear people complain about the economy and the big banks fucking everybody over, and then you look in their wallet and they have a Chase card. And you're like, sir, the fuck are you doing? Kodak says Alan Howard and the Rothschild family are taking very similar steps in this regard. It seems the interest in cryptocurrency is only growing, even among financial experts. Yeah, dude. Get into that Bitcoin, baby. It is a safe bet. It is finite. In Dante's Inferno, the lowest circles of hell are reserved for traitors. That's what it is, dude. It's these deep state sneaks. We're on the case. I'm that deep state private eye. You know, I'm like Jack Nicholson in fucking Chinatown. Give me a white suit. Get me on the case, dude. I'll sniff that motherfucker out. Which Democrat do I think has the best chance against Trump? That's, you know, it's Bernie, which is hilarious. I know you want the Affordable Care Act. I know all my supporters can't get any pussy, so I'm gonna promise you the Accessible Pussy Act. All the burnouts get free pussy. Just fucking vote for me. Free pussy. What else do you want? Bernie's got the best shot. He combs his hair with a balloon, ladies and gentlemen. He's an 80-year-old psycho communist. And, you know, he's trying to pass off some free pussy to you. Thank you again, Elliot Brown. He says the left must soon become reasonable to have a chance. Well, that's the thing. They don't understand what reasonable is, because they don't operate based on principles. They operate based on feelings and fear. And so there's no, you know, ideological feelings, fear, and manipulation is how they operate. So those are the useful idiots for totalitarianism. And then that's one category of leftists, the useful idiots that actually believe in diversity and multiculturalism and just free love and positivity, and those are the useful idiots. Those are the low IQ leftists. Then there's the elite leftists who are in positions of power and have manipulated and sneaked their way into them, and they are cold-blooded psychopathic manipulators who use principles against people who have them. Use morality. It's that Saul Alinsky type shit. It's the rules for radicals. Don't you understand principles, but you use them against people, and you use them to exempt yourself from the rules you hold over other people. Those are the real, true evil motherfuckers at the top. The Rod Rosensteins of the people of that ilk, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the real, cold-blooded manipulators. And so the left is not going to get principles anytime soon. We've just got to take away their voter base. We've got to chop their legs out from under them. And that's getting rid of the welfare state and building the wall. All right, if they don't have third world immigration and waking the black community up, if they don't have illegal immigrants coming in, signing up under dead people's names on the voter rolls and going to these states with no voter ID. Oh my God, it's racist to expect people to have an ID. You can't expect the poor black people to be able to get an ID and vote. I think you're the racist in the equation if you don't think a black person can manage to figure out how to get a goddamn ID. But they say that, racist, just so they can cover up the fact that, it's an entire operation that the Democratic Party runs to have these illegal third world immigrants come in, get on welfare, and then they bus them around to the polling stations in states that don't have voter ID laws. Signing them up for them dead people's names, baby. Oh, it's a scheme and a half, isn't it? We've been stealing elections for 50 years, baby. They can't stop us. They can't even admit it's going on. And so you take that situation away, and then, you elect Kanye West in 2024, and we wake the black community up, and they're done. All right, we get Kanye some good weed, keep him off the antidepressants, get Kanye some good weed and some espresso, all right? He can go up and rant. Because Kanye gets it. He's not out for reparations. He recognizes the mental slavery. Yeah, humble electrician. Dave Smith's analysis is legit. Yeah, Bernie already assuming he'll lose. Bernie is a perpetual loser. I mean, he's not even trying to lose. He just is a loser. He's always been a loser. Which is why the DNC desperately doesn't want him to be the nominee. Because they know he can fire up a base and he has a message. And he actually has ideas. They're horrifically terrible ideas, but at least, it's not Joe Biden up there on The View playing defense about, sniffing necks and grabbing little girl titties and like, oh my God, I didn't mean to be mean to Anita Hill fucking 20 plus years ago, and I'm not that sleepy. I mean, Trump called me sleepy, and he got real sleepy right there. And he was like, well, he tries to have this smoky voice like this fucking Joe Biden. Like he tries to sound, patriotic and like he's contemplative, and he's very measured and reasoned, and there's not a lot of ideas. It's like, he's just trying desperately to be Clint Eastwood and failing because he doesn't, I just want to sniff some necks. Do you? Go ahead, punk. Bring your daughter over here for the photo op. All right? I'm going to chomp on my cigar and rub on some little girl titties and almost fall asleep while I'm doing it. And sleepy, creepy Joe, So the DNC doesn't have any option other than Bernie at this point. What are they going to endorse? Pocahontas? Are they going to get behind sleepy, creepy Joe? I don't. I don't think so, dude. I think we're witnessing the death throes of the left. Fucking Joe Biden. His speech he had, he announced he was running. And it was like 100 to 1 dislikes to likes. Oh my God, that's true. That's true, Burgess. It does make the left dangerous because they're cornered, manipulative rats that are hopped up on resentment, and rage. They're convinced, that's why they hate capitalism, because they're convinced that if they don't have the government safety net there, they're just going to crash and burn. All right, that's the useful idiots I'm talking about on the left. The cold-blooded manipulators at the top of the left, they're sweating, dude. Because if Trump gets legitimate control over this administration and beats back the sneaks, and the connivers, and gets a legitimate group around him, he's going to start going after him. Because Trump, you can say what you want, he's a vindictive motherfucker. If you come at him, dude, he's coming back at you. He wants to. He wants the indictments on Hillary and Obama, for the scheming and the spying and the treasonous behavior. He wants those indictments, dude. Yeah, they're a cornered animal, dude. What up, Chungus? How much government support do I get every month? None. I could be taking food stamps, all right? I would qualify, all right? But I'm saddling up, and I'm riding that horse back to the Old Town Road. You know what I'm saying? I'm on that cowboy shit. I'm on that personal responsibility, dude. I'm getting it in. You guys know what the fuck it is. Sometimes you got to saddle up and ride. Sometimes you got to saddle the fuck up.
Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar. Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and fit.
That's that Lone Ranger, baby. You don't got friends that want to stand up for Western civilization. Well, fuck them. Get it in on your own, dude. Be that shining city on the hill. That's what America needs to be. God damn it. Build up the country. Fuck everybody else. Have a big, beautiful, sterling, gold-plated Trump wall, all right, and kick ass for everybody to see. You got to be that example, baby. What up, Nicolas Quintanilla? Welcome back to the stream, sir. The most beautiful, eloquent name, I may have ever encountered. Nicolas Quintanilla. He says, 50 years later, civil rights movement has done a full 180 where African Americans are segregating themselves. Wonder what it'll be like at the 100-year mark. Yeah, I mean, it has turned around quick, hasn't it? Jussie Smollett was the perfect example of it. You can fake a hate crime, blame it on white people, go on national TV and cry about it, making up a story, agreed to put 2 random people in jail, and then whoops, it was the Nigerian bodybuilders I paid to do this shit. Oh boy, whoopsie daisy. Let's all forget about this. All right, and then, where's the systemic oppression? All right, where's the crackdown on the black man by the law? Nowhere to be found. Oh, we all have, could be made up stories about getting pulled over for being black on a Saturday night. But when there's a big public story of a black dude faking a hate crime and just trying to hoodwink the entire country and blame white people and Trump supporters for trying to lynch people in the streets, he just puts on his aviator shades and strolls back onto the fucking set of Empire. And they're like, we support him. That's the Hollywood agenda. There's not enough racism going on. We got to make it up. God damn it. Rules for radicals. By any means necessary. Can you imagine if you were one of the dudes, you know, if it was two random white dudes they brought in instead of the Nigerian bodybuilding brothers, you know, and you're sitting in your holding cell watching him on ABC. Oh my God, it was these evil Nazis. And the interviewer's like, oh my God, you're so brave, Jesse. You're so brave. You know, and you're sitting there like, what the? I didn't do anything. Shut up, Whitey. Your time is over. All right? Your privilege has run out. I can't cash it in. There's no get out of jail free card for my white privilege. I didn't do anything. Your ancestors hated Jesse. All right? Consider it reparations, you cocksuck. There's no, you know, we're long past the civil rights movement, but the left still thinks it's going on. You know, they're still applauding for women in Congress. We can vote. What have you done with the vote? In 1920, women got the vote. The national debt was $25 billion. Now, going on 100 years of women voting, the national debt is creeping up on 25 trillion. Somebody's been out here, you know, with Uncle Sam's credit card at the mall, dude. It's goddamn reprehensible, you know. Christopher Walken, I don't generally do a Christopher Walken impression. You know, it's too overdone. I do Alex Jones. I defend Western civilization when there's black helicopters flying outside my door and I'm sitting here trying to get my shoulders big on the podcast. Out here in, you know, FEMA Region 10, we're out here trying to make things happen. We're trying to take down the communists right in their face. They want to take me out. Trump needs a new vice president. Ron Paul be perfect. Ron Paul, I don't know, he's too decrepit at this point, you know? And I don't think Ron Paul likes Trump. He got butthurt because Trump made fun of Rand Paul. Your grandfather's watch. It was up my ass for 6 months. My ass. I kept that watch up my ass. 6 months. I had to do it. The Sicilians were spawned by niggers. What are you talking about? Have a Chesterfield. Do I watch Game of Thrones? Hell no, man. Hell no. That's that, you know, that's that nihilistic propaganda. All right, that's you know, that's meth for leftists. Just pure power lust, you know, and fucking and killing and fucking and killing and fucking and killing. No, thank you. And there's no point to any of it. There's no like principles behind any of it. It's just like, who can scheme harder and be the most ruthless and kill the other motherfucker. It's like, it's basically just power porn, you know? Ooh, wouldn't you like to have all that power? Oh, I'm sure it's got some cool elements there, Burgess. You know, they got the dragons and cities that are lighting on fire. You know, they got to throw some shit in there for the, you know, the people who like Transformers. You know, the CGI addicts there. Kiki said, Jussie's lawyer said she thought they put white makeup on underneath. Jussie was fooled. He did pay the gentleman $3,500, but they had some, very believable white chicks makeup on. And they said they were, out here crusading for MAGA country. It's like, the reverse end of Nigerian scamming. What am I looking for in my career if not power, not fame? No, none of that, dude. It's about speaking the truth and making motherfuckers laugh at the same time. It's about doing something meaningful and having a purpose in your life. That's why all these people are fucking miserable, the leftists, because they have no meaning in their life. It's all about, saying some shit to manipulate in the moment and get what they want, and this Game of Thrones, this game of gays, this, who can butt pump who can, swindle somebody on a butt plug price and just really fuck somebody over and just win. Ugh. It's like this creepy loser shit, dude. Most of them haven't played competitive sports in their life. They don't know how to earn shit. All right? They don't have any confidence that they can get out there in the free market and do some damage. Some productive damage. All right? In that free marketplace. So they're very apprehensive about that. So they want the government there to protect them. So they can, stay in their safe little womb-like existence of just, not really having to take too many risks, and just I got my dopamine hitters, got all of my different drugs and all my. It all ends, like Anthony Bourdain with a belt around your neck. Doesn't matter if you have all the material wealth and the cultural experiences, and it all amounts to nothing if you don't have a mission in your life, if you're not focused on finding out what the truth of your existence is and where you fit in the world and what the fuck is actually going on around you, and trying to spread the word of what you're finding out. If you don't have friends like that, if you don't have family like that, it's like this discovery and unfolding of your life, and it leads to a path of articulating it. That's meaning in your life. Otherwise, you're just a junk monkey, just sitting around, just trying to get kicks on random shit. You're just, you're lowering yourself to being an animal. You're literally lobotomizing yourself if you don't have a higher mission in your life. Bourdain did not kill himself that way. He was known to be in the dark stuff. Yeah, well, my main point is that he wasn't happy, even with the ultimate materialist, experiential, just orgasmic fucking gangbang of, materialist experiences. He wasn't satisfied. And that probably fucked with him deeply. That, he has a show on CNN, and there's all these political undertones of leftism, and it's like just this horseshit. And then his girl gets involved with Harvey Weinstein, and she was one of the chicks in the Me Too movement, right? If I'm not getting my facts mixed up. And then he sees that come out, and he sees what's really behind, this leftist complex that he's supporting. It's these, schemer, nasty, debaucherous scumbags at the top, dude. These manipulators of the useful idiots. All right? They're manipulating and getting all their world in check so they can have their, hedonistic fucking, treadmill set up right in front of them. And yeah, they will, Natai. They will end in self-destruction. The right just has to sit back and point it out and laugh. But the point is, these damn, conservatives in Congress, they talk about principles, but they don't have any fidelity to them. Their fidelity is to whoever's in their pocket. And so they're almost just as bad as the leftists. They're just out to get theirs and fuck everybody else. And, they're not actually trying to get shit done. That's why there's a lot of resentment on the right to Trump, because he's coming in there like a fucking wrecking ball, actually trying to change shit. Yeah, she was Me Too leader and slept with her 17-year-old. Slept with a 17-year-old boy, paid him off when he was a 6-year-old. She played as his mom, in a movie. Yeah, I read up about that. Yeah, super debaucherous, insane shit. And, Bourdain found the roots of what he was supporting, the system he was supporting. And, he didn't have any fundamental meaning he was pushing. It was all just this agenda of leftism and the CNN show and fuck Donald Trump and, I'm going to serve him hemlock. Ah, ha, ha. And it's like, you pay a price for not having principles in your life and not paying attention what's going on in the world. You pay a price. And people think it's cute and, you don't have any principles. You don't have any rules, man. I don't live by any rules. It's like, yeah, if you don't have any self-imposed rules, if you don't have any discipline, if you don't have a mission that you're on, if you don't have a path, if you don't have principles that you stick by, if you don't have standards, you're just going to degenerate into, a junk monkey who's just constantly looking for the next dopamine hit. And you're just, you're a fucking chimpanzee, dude. You're turning yourself into a shit-slinging animal. They're the fourth class of government? Who are you talking about? Who's the fourth class of government there? Sweet Shin says, go hard at the neocons on stage and the liberals will be on your side, then go at them. Yeah, that's a good strategy, This whole celebration of John McCain was hilarious. What a traitorous bastard that guy was. Oh my God. Oh my God, he was tortured in the war, and then he's such a hero, and he comes back, supports the war in Iraq, and calls Trump a Russian agent, and then comes back with a brain tumor and votes to keep Obamacare. Thanks, Johnny. That's why I don't feel that bad about my vote for Obama in 2008. All right, because if it was between him and McCain, it's like I would do it over the same way again, just for how Obama exposed the left for the lack of principles and the pure snake oil salesman manipulation that they represent. Natai says, who knows what austerity means? Fourth class means meaning who takes orders instead of giving orders. Okay. You talking about the useful idiots there? Joe says, we share 98.6% DNA with chimpanzees, and that 1.4%, all right, is your free will to bear that cross and stagger uphill. All right? You have principles, you stick by them, you think scientifically, and you become the consensual Genghis Khan. and you conquer the individuals who are wafy and just in the wind of whatever trend is going on and what's popular and what's cool, and they're always chasing after what's, the cool thing to do. And they have no, that's why they say people are based when they got principles. They have no base, right? They're just being blown about, by the trends in society. They got no base to them. Useful idiots who live for power, money, and fame. Yeah, it's all empty, dude. It's all totally empty. If it doesn't have a representation of, doing something legitimately valuable in the world, if you're just on some horseshit TV show, and there's no meaning behind any of it, if you're just on, The Big Bang Theory, and you're like, 20 million a week, and it's like, it doesn't even mean anything. So you're not going to get your happiness from that. You got to have some kind of moral mission in your life. You got to have some kind of base to you. Dig your motherfucking heels in. Stand up for something. Or you'll fall for anything. You got to stand for something, or you going to fall for anything, son. Uh-oh, we got a little debate in the chat. Somebody's getting schooled. Somebody's getting embarrassed. We're all sharing the info here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Outrage commune. We're figuring it out one natty light at a time, one argument at a time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to come back and read some more comments. One more Outrage piss. I'm going to crack another natty light when I come back, baby. Ooh, wait. But yeah, that's looked on as a cult-like mentality, actually having standards in your life and enforcing them in your social circle. Like Stephen Molyneux went on Joe Rogan and he was like, it's the against me argument. You make this to people who support the state. You say, oh, well, what if I don't want to pay taxes? Do you support the right for the state to come and throw me in a cage for not paying my taxes? And you break down how taxation is theft. It's an involuntary situation. They're not having a discussion about it. And you break down how the social contract is propaganda and it's bullshit. And it's the only institution in society that forces you to contribute to it. And then you're like, do you support me being thrown in a cage for following my free will and my own conscience to not pay taxes as a moral thing? And if people are like, nah, you still got to go in the cage. It's like, you can only go so far with that friendship. And Joe's like, oh, it sounds like a cult to me. And it's like, Stefan actually has standards that he employs in his life. He doesn't just talk about it on his podcast. Codex says they can only jail you for dishonesty. Same in the UK and USA, I think. Well, try not paying the taxes. Let me know how it goes. Wesley Snipes will tell you. They locked Blade up All right? I don't give a fuck if you're a vampire, you've been living for 200 years. You're going in the cage. Try to sneak your way out of that one. Alan James said, Obama was the first president to take advantage of social media to help him get elected. So hip, so cool, so smart. Trump, oh my God, social media helped him get elected. We need censorship. There you go. Yeah. It was super trendy when Obama did it. You know, and he was filling out NCAA tournament brackets, and everybody was thinking, oh my God, he's just the coolest. Thank you, Alan James. Yeah. But Trump's on social media. Oh my God. It's actually the best thing that's ever happened to the mainstream media outlets is Trump's Twitter feed. Because without Trump's Twitter feed, they would have nothing to talk about all day long. But I think what's going to have to happen with these social media companies, if they're policing content based on politics, then that puts them in the category of a publisher instead of just a platform. Because if you're selecting content politically, that means you're editorializing. That means you're a publisher. And so you're therefore responsible legally for whatever is published on your platform. All right, so we got to hold them to that standard and make sure that they're not, just secretly shadow banning and sitting back and all this sneakery. Kay Burgess has been a Satanist since he was 8 years old. That's pretty hardcore, dude. That's pretty hardcore. You're on that, you're on that inversion. People deal with learning that society is largely bullshit around them in a lot of different ways. You look around and see how much you're lied to, and you're like, you just want to go for the most edgy, most subversive thing you can, just to throw it in motherfuckers' faces. Once I realized that, they were demonizing masculinity in society, and that, there was this rising feminized beta male, coming into the mainstream, and that's the coolest thing, and trans kids, and just turn your hair blue. And I decided to go around and start talking to bitches on the street and start picking up numbers, dude. Because there's a vacuum of masculinity. All right, there's a lack of it. But you realize how much you're lied to in society. And you're like, you just want to go against that grain, And I did that with developing the philosophical principles there, all right, which not a lot of people do. How do I get to the date asking? Well, you just ask them what they're doing later on that day. And then whatever they say is whatever, and then you tell them what you're doing. Oh, I might smoke a bowl later on. I might open up a bottle of wine, something like that. You know, and then if they're interested in that shit, oh my God, I love, what type of weed? Oh, I smoke all the time. What type of wine? I don't really like red. I like white. You'd be like, oh, well, you know, you're welcome to join if you like. And then it's on. How much of what I've been taught is true? Not very goddamn much. All right. They toe that agenda in the school system. All right. They're on that Common Core. Common Core, which means avoiding the core of the issue, that taxation is theft and that government is coercion and that the government's not looking out for you. But all the history textbooks in public school are like, oh my God, chaos among the citizenry, and nobody can get along, and it's all terrible. And then the government swoops in and writes a law, and with legislative magic, things become better. The powdered wigs swoop in and save us all. Cactus Jack says Jesus saves. Repent your sins and see how your life changes. Well, there's a fundamental truth to that, but you don't need to believe in the Christian metaphysics to do it. That's what they don't teach you in school, is having a moral mission. There's no moral content in school. It's all just allegiance to power. Allegiance to power. You know, it's the same thing with your teacher. You got to ask permission to go and piss. It's a tyranny. You got to sit in rows in the class and just accept what's being taught to you. So they teach you how to accept orders there and be a good little slave. There's nothing that teaches you how to be an independent, free-thinking human being. There's nothing that teaches you how to manage your own finances and become an entrepreneur and start a small business and actually be prosperous and successful. There's nothing that teaches you how to manage relationships and have standards for the people you have around you. Actually important shit in your life. They don't teach you anything about that. What's good, Bradley Murray? They don't teach you anything about that because that gives you the tools to be self-sustaining and kick ass on your own. They don't want you to be able to do that. They don't want you to, be able to stand upright and live your own life with integrity, because that's not helpful to the deep state controllers there. So they got to hand that common core down from on high and create the good little slaves. That's why you got to keep your kids out of the public school system, dude. Are we having a spirited debate in the chat here? Sweet Chin's going to attend the Joe Rogan stand-up show and throw a Bible at his huge head and tell him to sit down. Don't heckle the comedians now. I actually, I was listening to Rogan the other day, and, I regained a lot of respect for him because he had that, that Faggotron propagandist on that dude from Adam Ruins Everything. I can't remember his last name. His name's Adam, but he's this super leftist, just cucked out fucking loser. And he has this terrible, just pathetic attempt at a comedy sketch show where it's all this justification for leftist horseshit and totally meaningless, nihilistic, gumbo, horseshit. And he went on Rogan, and they got into the trans kids topic, and Rogan pushed back fucking hard on him. That's one topic that Rogan has a hard stance on, and he gets to the truth of it. He recognizes that it's child abuse, and these kids don't have any legitimate say in what gender they are when they're fucking 6 years old. And that there's a physiological reality to your brain development and the lack of decision making and discernment you have when you're that young. And it's really just the psychopathic, influence of their parents trying to be progressive at the cocktail party. It's like, oh, your son he's 9 years old and he's already gay. Well, my son is, my daughter, excuse me, she's 6 years old and she already transitioned, and we're getting her, we're getting her a new pair of titties for her birthday, and some booty shots, and we're going to be taking some glamour photos for Instagram, and we're going to be getting a profile on the real trans kids of Beverly Hills. It's going to be so progressive. I'm way more progressive than any of you guys. I've turned my kid into a mutant Ninja Turtle. Oh, you think that's cool? I turned my kid into Master Splinter from the Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, I gave my kid a surgically attached rat tail, and he identifies as Master Sensei. Okay, so I'm creating a rat child because it's what they want. Burgess, I don't know why you go the extra step and say you're a Satanist. Why don't you just say you're an atheist? If you're if you just say you're an atheist, because that's all that. I mean, once you say you're a Satanist, you get back into the religious metaphysics of it. I mean, if you don't believe in religious metaphysics, just say that the burden of proof is on the theist to prove that Jesus was magic, and that there's a deity in the sky that created everything. I mean, that's all you have to say as an atheist. But then to go the extra step and be like, oh, Satan exists. It's like you're in the same ballpark as the theists at that point. I mean, I don't think Satan exists, but evil definitely does exist. Many think Satanism is a religion. It's a philosophical position. There's nothing spiritual about it. Well, what is Satan? Satan is a spiritual being. He's the manifestation of evil into, of a form of an entity that we have no empirical evidence exists. I mean, I know George Soros exists. That might be some evidence for Satan, but it's yet to be proven. What happens when we die? I think, the consciousness leaves the matter of the brain, and, we go, it's about like what it was like before you were born. It's nothingness. So we got to make shit count while we're alive, ladies and gentlemen. The Satanic Bible, what is that, Aleister Crowley? I just want to know if you believe in, entities of evil. If you believe in demons, if you believe in Satan, if you believe in Lucifer. Because that's just metaphysical horseshit as far as I see it. Alan James says, Burgess wears mascara. Mascara. Plays The Cure on loop and has a giant poster of Robert Smith on his bedroom ceiling. Well, I don't know who Robert Smith is, but I'm sure that was a quality joke. And I appreciate that, Alan James. Cactus Check says, Nick, do murderers pay for their sins? Yes, they do, because they have that on their conscience. All right? They killed somebody, and they know it, and they can't lie to themselves. And so they're slowly going to descend into crazy, of their own volition. It's just, I think even in a free market I think we would have a system where we would keep the violent criminals away from everybody else and quarantine them in a prison cell. But yeah, murderers do pay for it with their own, psychic demise. Cactus Jack says he's going to rob and kill everybody then, no consequences. It's not about no consequences. I'm for that Second Amendment, dude. There's going to be consequences, all right? Self-defense is perfectly viable under the non-aggression principle. All right? Stand your ground. There might be some consequences, dude. Try to steal my shekels that the lovely people at Outrage TV donate to me. There's going to be some consequences. But people, I think, you know, the idea of hell happens in your own mind. If you commit evil and you know you did it, and you're not like a psychopathic, you know, loose cannon crazy motherfucker who's just totally detached from reality, you're not going to be able to sleep. You're not going to be able to connect to people emotionally, that you're not honest with them. It's always going to be in the back of your head that you did this horrific, terrible shit, and you're going to have to live with that. That's hell, is living with your own evil behavior. And even living without, in the absence of trying to do good, trying to go along a path of meaning and truth, even in the absence of that, you're going to be in hell. All right? That's why, you know, religious ideas are so powerful to people. I just don't agree with the metaphysics, but the morals are rock solid. Cactus Jack says atheists are so bad at having good arguments against religion. Their only arguments are, I didn't see it, so it didn't happen. No. The argument is the religious people are making a claim that somebody can come back from the dead, that God exists and he answers prayers and he creates miracles, and that he's omniscient and omnipotent at the same time, which is a direct contradiction. But the burden of proof is on the theists to prove that it exists, because they're the ones making a claim. Atheists aren't making any claim on reality. They're just going by empirical data, by what we can prove through our instrumentation and our sense data. That's all we're going on. And so that's a scientific way of thinking. You're processing the data through the scientific method. You come up with a hypothesis, all right? You test it out there, and then you come to a conclusion. All right, so that's all that the atheists are doing. They're pointing out that, you know, you got to have some evidence for a claim that big. But, you know, I don't fundamentally blame anybody if they want to have that faith. That's a personal thing. It's a subjective thing. Have it if you have. It's beneficial for society. It's Christian morals. You know, if they have to be paired with the metaphysics, by all means. All right? It's way better than Islam or, you know, Jew sneakery. It's way better than the Talmud. Burgess says, I'm an atheist and I will admit that I can't say for sure. I can't prove there isn't a supreme being, but I'm not making a claim. That's the point. You don't have to prove that there isn't a supreme being. That's putting the burden of proof on the disproving of something that hasn't already been proven. Once there's a claim, there has to be evidence. The only job the atheist has to do is be like, there's no evidence. Where's the evidence? Show your work. You know, the Christians have they have a math problem and they solved it without showing the work. And the atheist is just like, hey, show your work. And the Christian's like, hey, shut up, Satanist. And it's like, you got to show your work if you make a claim. You know, if you're trying to be in the realm of logic and truth and reason and rationality, if you make a claim, you have to have evidence. See, Cactus Jack, now you're getting into slander of the atheists, all right? You're saying atheists do mass shootings, Christians don't. That's correlation, not causation, all right? I would say the antidepressants caused the mass shooting, not the atheism. Muslims suicide bomb, Christians don't. Well, I mean, if we're going to throw, do you consider George Bush a Christian? Because he piled up a lot of bodies. You know. I'm not saying Christians aren't the most moral group of religious people in the world. I'm not saying that. They are. You know, they ended slavery for the civilized world. You know, they had an instrumental part in creating, the Renaissance and the Enlightenment and 1776, dude. They were right in there. You know. Good shit, Christians. I support it. I just don't support the existence of, people coming back from the dead and, deities up in the sky that nobody can prove. Oh my God, Kiki. I almost don't even want to read this comment. Bush's mom had her dead fetus baby in a jar in her house. They talked about it. She was twisted and alleged to be Crowley's daughter. Oh my God. Dude, I'm not even going to touch that. The Bushes have a family fetus on the shelf? Alan James, are you saying I'm agnostic, not atheist, or Burgess? Atheist with 120 million murders. I'm not defending atheistic morality. No, I'm saying that God doesn't exist. If there's nothing, that's the definition of not existing, is not being detected by any instruments, not having any evidence for its existence. That's the definition of not existing. So God does not exist. It's a claim, and I'll entertain the claim, but you need some evidence for the claim. Otherwise, there's no existence there. There's no there. So I'm a hard atheist. The burden of proof is on you, theists. But yeah, I'm not defending atheist morals here, because atheists have totally failed in the category of, living moral lives and having principles. They've totally failed because they've shifted, from believing in God to believing in government. And now government is the new God. Oh, that's the answer to everything. We need a law, we need legislation. We need to pray at the altar of Congress. That's why they were so triggered when Trump got elected, because that's their Jesus, is the president. What up, Donkey Kong? He's saving up to be Jewish. That's hilarious. I'm looking to convert to Judaism, but I really got to get my bank account in order. All right? They're going to audit me. They're going to give me a kosher taste test. I got to pick out which piece of pizza has been blessed by a rabbi. It's going to be super tricky. I got to balance a budget sheet. Oh my God. That's fucking hilarious, dude. This is the worst Christian channel. No, this is a pro-Christian channel. All right? I'm just not pro-Christian metaphysics. All right? I'm not pro, I'm not pro-magic. Cactus Jack, he's on that private eye behavior right there. Donkey Kong is cheap Jewish man. I support duplicate accounts, dude. Come on here and troll me, from every direction you can. We're doing another beer on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I got 2 empties. We're going for number 3. This is actually number 4, I think. He can't even count. He says he thinks scientifically, but he can't even count his beers. I had to switch beers because, I knew somebody was going to call me out for my beer being flat, and I don't want to get into, the flat beer theory. All right. There's so much evidence for the flat beer theory. It's ridiculous. All right. And I'm not going to sit up here and just be a round beer shill and, promote those ideas irresponsibly. All right. There's a lot of credence to the flat beer theory. You guys are bringing me along. All right. This beer is not flat. Thank you, AJ. He says you should watch a documentary called Finger of God. It's about laying hands on people and getting healed on camera. That's super creepy, dude. I don't want to watch that, that propaganda tactic. I don't want to watch, low IQ people get tricked into spirituality. I don't want to see Joel Osteen fucking taking advantage of the low IQ people who just want to be good. What do you think of Joel Osteen, Cactus Jack? Cactus Jack says, hey Nick, if Jesus was just faking, then why did the Jews kill him? Well, because he probably had a lot of powerful philosophical ideas that led to individualism and not supporting the state. He was probably, slinging a lot of dick around town and getting a lot of followers, and, he had that powerful magic wand under his robe. Jesus was going around, he was slinging some heavy dick and recruiting followers, and he was promoting individualism. He was promoting self-reliance, personal responsibility. And the powers that be didn't like that shit, dude, and they took him out. He was Alex Jones before Alex Jones. He was out there, speaking the logos. So Jesus was a bad motherfucker. I just don't believe that Mary gave a virgin birth. I can't get on board scientifically. It just doesn't add up to me. Bradley Murray's on them buds today. Dude, I've been on that indica lately. That's had me feeling good, dude. I've been doing that before the mic. It gets me extra relaxed, and get right into the mode of get into that storytelling mode, baby. All right, I'll tell y'all what I was talking about on stage tonight, because it's pretty funny, but, it's a little expose on what's going on with the roommate situation here. So, Heaven, I've known her for a while. We've basically been hookup buddies since I came to LA. She was the first girl I met out here in LA. And fundamentally, she's cool to be around. She's got a high IQ. She's funny. She's a, round booty, brown skin cutie. And that's my kryptonite, dude. And so, I got out of this terrible roommate situation with this giant, Viking vanilla gorilla motherfucker who was coke addicted. And I figured he was going to kill me. And so I had to get out of that roommate situation. And so I was living out of my car for about 3 months. And I was glad to have that, that homeless roommate. Because Heaven, needed some distance away from her family. And I already knew her and, I could somewhat trust her. And so we got together, we're living out of the car and shit, and then out of that Planet Fitness hotel, taking showers in the gym and shit, sleeping in the parking lot, dude. Doing what you got to do. And then, we get into this apartment and I'm just glad to have my roof. Nobody's come to take away my roof, I got my roof stability. All right, but she's been making less and less money month after month. She was working for Dare, which means, you know, you stand outside of a Ralph's begging for money to help kids get off drugs. And you only get to keep, you know, 30% of what you raise. I'm like, baby, you could just be homeless and keep 100% of what you raise. That's be a little more profitable. I love the kids, you know, but let's pay some rent. And so it was less and less rent, you know. And I brought in one of the stripper chicks I know to try to help her make some money. Because this chick, you know, she's Egyptian and Venezuelan. She's got a big old booty. She comes in, you know, she goes to these rich white dudes' houses in Calabasas, shakes her ass, you know, and walks out with hundreds of dollars. Right? So I was trying to put my roommate Heaven on the team. You know, I was trying to, you know, get her teamed up with a stripper chick. I was trying to turn my apartment into a strip club, basically. And so I had, you know, booty shaking choreography lessons going on in the apartment, you know. And around this time, I learned that Heaven, you know, was going and seeing another dude who exclusively ate her pussy. Now, I'm not, you know, one to jump right into the pussy eating. I got to be really inspired, you know, to eat some pussy. I got to be really, you know, into it. All right. It's got to be a moment of inspiration, you know, and I just got to go for it. So it hasn't happened with Heaven many times. And so, you know, she has been supplementing her pussy eating by going and seeing this other dude who eats her pussy. And I come home today from Postmates and I see her. I come home early and I see her and she's like, "Oh, we have company." I'm like, "Oh, we do." And so I walk in and who do I see standing right, you know, inches away from where I'm sitting right now, standing right in the Outrage studios. It's the pussy eater. All right. And, you know, he's like tall white dude, like kind of like me with a good bone structure. You know, he's a carbon copy of me, but he's the pussy eater. You know, so he had the long hair and the fucking wristbands. You know, and I was real close to just giving him that boss rootin', that dang, you know. Real close, dude. Because he was standing there, you know, with a loaded bowl of my weed, ladies and gentlemen. This bowl right here. All right, we're going to smoke it on the podcast in honor of being self-reliant. All right, ladies and gentlemen? Because sometimes you got to cut the roommates off. All right? Sometimes you got to have standards. All right, ladies and gentlemen? And so it was just, I was like, man, y'all got to get the fuck out of here. But, you know, Heaven still owes me a lot of goddamn money. And so it's an awkward situation. I'm like, you got to pay me back. You know, but I'm not putting up with this shit. So I'm here bearing my soul to the Outrage crew. You know. I guess it was more sad on the podcast. It was pretty funny on stage tonight. The bowl was unsmoked. If he would have been smoking my weed when I walked in, I would have had to give him that dang. You know? And of course this reaffirms Cactus Jack's theory that you never trust the blacks. Oh. I recorded the set. It's on my phone though. I'm streaming on the phone, so I could load it up and you know, play it on the podcast next time. So how naive am I? It's not like Heaven is my girlfriend or something. I'm just, you know, I needed somebody who was a reasonably sane roommate to help me pay the rent. Because I want to continue being able to do stand-up and write my screenplays and have some time other than being out on the road doing Postmates constantly trying to make my rent money. But, ladies and gentlemen, I may figure a way to work my way into that Jewish conspiracy. The head manager of my apartment complex is a wonderful Jewish man. All right. And he's been wanting to turn the keys over to me to be the head manager. And that means $1,000 on top of free rent every month. When is this Venezuelan chick coming on the stream? I don't know if she'd be into that, but she has stories for days, dude. I mean, her parents are Egyptian and Venezuelan. She was raised in Compton. All right. She's told me all about the differences between black people, niggas, and niggers. You know, she's one of the most racist people I've ever met, and it's hilarious. She's also super homophobic, which is fucking hilarious. You know, one of Compton's finest. And that's why, you know, it's just about the principle of the disrespect. You brought the pussy eater in the Outrage studios. All right. And I can't even throw a punch because my laptop's sitting right here, my podcast rig, my goddamn setup. I don't want to crush my goddamn setup with a throwdown in the fucking kitchen. Nick, remember when I said heaven looks like a black version of the boy from the movie 300 and you got mad? Oh boy, I did not get mad. I laugh at most of the jokes about heaven's appearance. I joke about her appearance. Tons. But one of the things y'all can't see on the podcast is you know, her booty angles. All right, y'all just see her from the shoulders up. And you wonder why, you know. But she has helped me pay rent. She helped me get into this apartment. You know, it's just time to, you know, pay up and split. Because I'll figure out a way. All right, me and the Outrage crew, you know, I'll be out here on the streets of Beverly Hills making it do what it do. Why is she bald? I don't know. I requested she got a wig a long time ago. Throw a wig on her. She probably looks decent. So yeah, that's the situation. I had to get it off. I had to get it off my chest, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's just been a process out here in LA, trying to not be broke as fuck and trying to not live with a psycho roommate. You know, that's the big challenge. Pay your rent without living with a crazy person. And I've had, you know, Kevin Paul Jr. was probably the best roommate I had, but we were just, you know, we would just clash, dude, after a while. Live with Queen Talking. I think he lives with his brother up in the valley. But, you know, I think, you know, normally when I put myself in a position where I got to come up with some shit, I make it happen. So I feel like if I just put myself in a position where I have to make the rent, I'll make the fucking rent. Live with Eddie Murphy as his tranny slave. I'm still waiting on an email back from Ed Murph. All right, I assume he's off on set somewhere and he hasn't come back home. For those that don't know, on the podcast, I hand delivered my screenplay pitch to Eddie Murphy's house on Postmates. All right. And I'm waiting for that email back, ladies and gentlemen. How much is rent? I pay $12.50. $12.50 for a studio in Hollywood. You know, a little tough with you know, Postmates, car note, you know, car maintenance. Well, you say it's a waste, Riderback, but you know I'm right by these fucking comedy clubs. You know, I'm in the belly of the beast. No, not 1,200 each. 1,200 total. Yeah, the studio in Northern Cali is about 2,000. You talking about the Bay Area? Yeah, that's a little. That's getting up in that tech money territory. You getting crazy? But I'm like right in Hollywood proper. I'm right by the Hollywood and Highland Center, the Chinese theater and shit. We're right in the thick of it. That's why I want to start doing these street interviews because all the crazies are right outside. Oh yeah, dude. If I throw on a wig, Sunset Boulevard, Ed Murph might cruise by. I appreciate that, Riderback. I'm trying to make it happen, dude. I'm going up on stage every night, rocking them out. Had a good set tonight. Little by little, baby. We're defending Western civilization and encroaching on leftist territory. But yeah, dude, if I got that free rent plus 1,000 on top, god damn, I'd be throwing whipped cream titty parties, dude, real quick. All right? Be on that single man life. That empty house life, dude. That's what I'm trying to get on. So I can focus on my goddamn arguments, my screenplays, and my stand-up. Alan James says, do some good street interviews with Trump hat on and your channel will blow up. Just don't get shot. Yeah, I need to get me a MAGA hat, and get my cameraman recruited. I need to call Igor and let this motherfucker know. We need to do some street interviews, dude. That shit would be fun. But yeah, I need to get that concealed carry permit. I wonder how much that'll cost you from soup to nuts out here in LA to get a goddamn concealed carry. We're going to have to take your kidney, sir. We're going to have to extract your bladder. Yeah, Joe, he says, do I need a camera person? Well, I know, the director of the sketches out here, Igor. All right. He's a wonderful man of Russian descent. He's out here, purveying the Russian conspiracy. He's a good man, but he's very busy. He's trying to get into the mainstream of Hollywood and, be that next Steven Spielberg. He's really trying to get into the Jewish conspiracy. I'm just trying to manage this building, all right, and be friendly with, a handful of friendly Jews. But yeah, he needs to get his ass up here to Hollywood and let's shoot some street shit. Right on, Cactus Jack, I feel you. Gonna be getting you some fresh content out here, ladies and gentlemen. Spicing it up. Yeah, I do Postmates. It's just a lot of miles on the car, dude. I need to change the wheels out, My car it's had that maintenance required light on for about 2 months now. Hope it's good. But that's that Japanese technology. All right? Starts every time. YouTube makeup girls use a I need some prettier makeup on the podcast. That'll really give me some pizzazz on my arguments. Yeah, people love that live content. They love the stand-up content, and then the live interviews, the in the moment, with the quickness. Thank you, Alan James. You bad motherfucker. Contributing to all the funds out here. Oh. Vape juice is a little pricey. This used to be $10 at the fucking vape shop I got. 100 milliliters for $10. But then they raised it to 15. It was in the bargain bin at a goddamn vape shop. Yeah, vape juice in LA. Otherwise, unless you go into that bargain bin, you're going to be paying $20. Yeah, six milligrams of nicotine and it doesn't hit. Yeah. Yeah, I used to be on that 12 to 18, but man, that gets pricey. That'll get a little pricey on you, And then you got to go into the vape shop in a Trump shirt and start cursing out the neckbeard behind the counter. All right? Because he's not on board with defending Western civilization. Oh yeah, that salt nicotine is legit, dude. That's that legitness. Yeah, you start to lose the buzz. You get the first buzz when you hit it in the morning. Yeah, the highest nicotine is what you get, but in that bargain bin, that 6 milligram is the highest you can get. It's a rough deal for the bargain shoppers out here. But we're making do, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm going to try to post more stand-up clips, and we're going to get on the interview tip. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It shall be done. I'm trying to get up on that horse, dude. The horse kicks you off, get right back on the fucking horse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. Start smoking dabs. I got the pipe right here. What do I need dabs for, baby? It's the real greens. What are the audience like in these comedy clubs? Are there any SJW types that have ever lost it with you? Yeah, there have been. There have been, dude. There definitely have been. I mean, the comedy club I go to now is just a dojo. It's totally fucking, free speech, just whatever you want to say, go up there and rip it. And so that's the club I go to now and just work my shit out and sharpen the blade. But when I was, younger in LA, when I first got here, like 4-ish years ago, I would go around to all the big clubs. And I went around to, I went to the Haha Cafe. And, I was doing a set there about diversity. And I was talking about, how condescending it is. And, black people just can't do it on their own. And the white guy just has to reach down and we're going to help you out. And we've got the diversity engine right for you. And we're talking about diversity officers. Like, what's my job? Well, I look around the office and I determine that there are entirely too many white people. We have a diversified workforce. That seems like you kind of just have a limit on your white dudes. And so I was going into this whole shit, you know, and this dude in the back of the club was like, he stood up and he was like shadow boxing and shit. And he was like just going crazy in the back of the room. And I started to notice him. And then he yelled out, he was like, this guy's a bigot. He's a mouthpiece for the KKK. You caught me. I was up here speaking for the Grand Wizard. He was white dude, Kexachek, yeah. And obviously, no black dude is going to, act a fool like that. And so the bit was actually pro-black people because diversity doesn't fucking fundamentally help black people to be held to a lower standard than everybody else. And, they just need a leg up. It's like, no, just give them some freedom. They'll be able to do whatever the fuck they do. But it's like this guy was shadow boxing in the back of the room. You're a mouthpiece for the KKK. And I just started stretching out on stage like I was going to get ready for a fist fight and shit. And I got off stage and heaven was with me, And so I'm walking out of the club with my arm around a black girl. And that just really blew his mind. And there was a black guy going on stage. He's like, sister, you messing up. What are you doing with him? It's like, guys, you don't know how hard it was to convince, this black girl to join the KKK with me. All right. I put in a lot of work here, propaganda-wise. But that triggered him even more, dude. I was walking out with the black girl. That was, that was pretty goddamn ridiculous. But LA is a lot more, they can be swayed a lot more than people think. It's not that hard left out here. Because, everybody, it's hard to be a socialist when you see opulent wealth around you all the time. You're just like, I want that. And so it's like, it's hard to just hate success when you're surrounded by it all the time. And so, whatever's left of the cultural Marxist agenda, if it's not class envy, it's, race and gender envy. And there is a lot of that going on in LA, but it's like trivial almost. Like you can still poke fun at it, at the race and gender shit. I might go one more beer. Let me take an outrage tinkle and ponder it, ladies and gentlemen. I shall return. Get some more water here. You and your flat beer theories. I am a round beer shill. Didn't you know? I'm going to take my horse to the Old Town Road. Ride till I can't no more, ladies and gentlemen. Heaven was ruining everything. Typical darky. What's up, Looker Bear? What you cringing about, baby? Give myself a Latina? Shit, I wouldn't turn down a burrito. Give me some of that, give me some of them fine refried beans, baby. Some avocado. Serve it up to me. I was waiting for the No Beers Left line. That's not a line. Look, Bear, you just haven't turned that song on with, enough thump in your speakers. All right? Sometimes you got to embrace your country. Sometimes you got to get gutter. We shall do another beer, ladies and gentlemen. We shall. Going deep into the murky waters. But we pop a ginkgo biloba right before the last beer. Where is Heaven? She's probably, hanging out with the beloved pussy eater. All I care about, is if I get the money that's owed to me. All right? Some back rent involved. It's been promised. We shall see if it's delivered, ladies and gentlemen. How much is yo? About in the neighborhood of $2,000. All right. So we're gonna, collect on that and go our separate ways, ladies and gentlemen. And we shall, freedom shall prevail. All right. You got to take the personal and extend it out to the political. All right. I need a free domain, ladies and gentlemen. You need to have the Outrage Studios to my damn self. Should have taken it out in trade. Alan James says 2,000, so minus reparations, you owe her $5,678. Oh, that's why she's acting the way she's acting. All right? Because she expects the reparations. She's been seeing the CNN headlines. All right? She's got excited. Dude, that reparations calculator. So you owe me $6,798. I was you were selling me a candy bar. How do I... Why do Americans have roommates? Never live like that. Me crazy. I mean, it's something I've had to do coming out here making the adjustment living in LA as a broke ass motherfucker. But you put yourself in a situation where you need to make something happen. Sometimes that shit just gets done. All right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put myself in a situation where I got to make shit happen. And it shall be done. All right? We shall make the rent by ourselves. Get on the Postmates. Be talking shit every night with the Outrage crew. You know, we'll get up on some of these bigger stand-up stages and we'll start doing some interviews. Start exposing the leftist Jews. Working with the good Jews out here in Hollywood. You know. You can tell they're a good Jew if they make racist jokes to you. You know. If they make jokes about, you know, coming on Mexican women's backs and then calling them a wetback, you know, that's a good Jew, you know. Cali's expensive? Well, goddammit, it's luxurious. You know, you pay for the upward mobility. All right? And there's plenty of upward mobility to go around. I see stupid motherfuckers up here with houses in the hills. I deliver to their house and I'm like, you? Just these sunken out eyes and blue hair and facial piercings. And I'm like, you have the house in the hills. Which one of your family members is paying for this shit? This is not sustainable. You know? And then I deliver them a giant package of whippets. And they go back to their, you know, self-hating behavior because they refuse to defend Western civilization. And it's a slow descent into insanity for these, you know, for these privileged weirdos. All right? Up in their fat cribs. It's not sustainable, dude. The you know, the consensual Genghis Khan is coming in. Primordial Soup says I should go down to the local box store, buy a half a dozen bunk beds, and turn that room behind you into a bunkhouse. It's 12 beds at $200 per. Rent problem solved. Oh, what a Jew-minded tactic. Unfortunately, the lease I'm under prohibits subletting, and so I would be egregiously breaking the rules. And I think the peace of mind you get from an empty apartment is worth the difference. All right, I'll go out there and push that Scion hatchback to the limit. Because you know what we're out here in Hollywood doing, dude. I'm trying to live that Grand Theft Auto Vice City fucking lifestyle, dude. I'm trying to, you know, get into some piles out here, dude. To the limit! We're walking along that razor's edge, dude. We're defending Western civilization. You know, the economy is teetering on the edge. And so is my roommate situation. All right? But we're going to prevail. All right? Prosperity will come through, ladies and gentlemen. The white man marches on. And the white man marches on. I mean, what kind of man am I if I can't make $12.50 a month on my own? You know? Sometimes in life you just gotta sack up and get shit done. Oh, she'll probably be back snoring in the room, you know. But it's essentially an indentured servitude at this point. You know, she's got to make that debt back, baby. You know, I don't care where you're sleeping. Money, rent. Anytime you see me, hey, how you doing? Rent. Hey, what's been going on? Rent. I just been thinking rent. That's that Goodfellas. That's that fuck you, pay me. And it's like, I don't ultimately, you know, I don't have this ultimate resentment against her. You know, it's not like we're a couple or anything, but you're bringing the motherfucker in my domicile. No. Got my weed loaded in the pipe. No. But, you know, I've been through a lot of shit out here with Heaven. I want to see her, you know, do all right. But at a certain point, it's, no. Can't put up with it anymore. You know, you need that peace of mind, dude. You need that base. You need that home base. You need to pray to Jesus. I will take inspiration from Jesus the man. He was very inspirational. You know, he got a lot of shit done. All right? Jesus lived by himself. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't subletting. He was on that carpentry. You know, he probably built his own room. Does she even know I'm mad that she brought him? Yeah, I voiced it. I told her, you know, just pay up and be gone. Do I have my SAG card? Hell no, dude. Fuck all that horseshit acting. No, thank you. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna pay your goddamn union dues for doing something that I like, negotiating on my behalf. Some shit I could also do. SAG is the Screen Actors Guild, Natai. It's a union out here that if you want to get legit acting gigs and, you know, suck Hollywood's dick and pretend like you have talent and get on and just share the same politics with people and be an extra and work your way up and suck the right dick. No, thank you. I write screenplays, and so if I'm going to act, it's going to be in one of my screenplays. I'm going to do that Sylvester Stallone. I'm going to write the shit, and then I'm going to be in it. Otherwise, fuck you. I'd much rather be the screenwriter. Just cut me the check and let me know if you make it. And I'd much rather do stand-up. You know, because that's that, you know, that's that independence. All right? If you can draw a crowd, you can get a motherfucker to pay you. Then you can do that Owen Benjamin route. Once you get an audience, you can just literally rent out a theater in a location, send out, you know, a social media message and fill up the fucking theater. And just make your own money on the stand-up tip, you know? And so he laid out that template to follow. But, you know, I've had managers tell me to go out for commercials and shit. It's like, I'm not going to be the fucking Doritos guy. Oh, Doritos, bro. You know, and they give me, you know, $50,000. It's like, you can keep that goddamn money, dude. I don't give a fuck. All right? I don't eat Doritos, bitch. You know, I'm not putting ads on my YouTube channel. Where do you think my integrity's at? All right? I don't want you motherfuckers to have to see ads when you tune into the podcast. I just want it to be real, live, and fucking, in your face. All right? And if you want to donate to the fund, then, much appreciated. That's how I want to keep it. I want to keep the fidelity, to the Outrage crew and to the stand-up crowds that assemble. Nitai, it's all about where you live in LA. I mean, if you're in downtown LA, yeah, it can be a nightmare. If you're in South Central LA, it can be a nightmare. If you're in certain places in Mid-City and Culver City, it's pretty shitty. But if you're in Venice, if you're in the Pacific Palisades, if you're in Beverly Hills, if you're in the Hollywood Hills, there is no place better that I have seen. It's basically perfect weather every day, the most beautiful women in the world, and the most upward social mobility that you could ever ask for. The ceiling is limitless out here. Which you can see why that's attractive, to a small town Oklahoma boy as I am. Because Oklahoma, that's that low ceiling. I mean, my parents are good people, but they're simple. They would have been satisfied if I was, a half-assed decent plumber. And that's all I aspired to in my life, was to be a half-assed decent plumber. Oh, Nicholas, he can clear any shit pipe you got. Ain't a shit pipe he can unclog in this side of the Mississippi. He works so hard. He's got health insurance. Yeah, Mom, I'm going to need it. With a 140 IQ cleaning shit pipes for a living. I'm going to be drinking myself to death every night. With no logos. All those gifted and talented classes for nothing. I read all the Harry Potter books. I thought I was Harry. Turns out I'm just one of the muggles. Oh. Ain't nothing wrong with being a plumber, humble electrician. I'm just slinging jokes. I respect the fuck out of a good plumber. There's this badass Russian dude who's the plumber for our apartment complex. And man, he's like a villain in a Die Hard movie. But he's just so logos driven. So just dragon energy, if I've ever seen it in a plumber. He just fucking gets in there, dude. He's fucking taking holes out of walls and crawling through the crawl space. This motherfucker is just hardcore. Humble electricians on that 131, baby. Yeah, I need a less noble profession for that joke. Because I respect the physical labor there. There's nobility in that shit. Because there is meaning in it. George Soros is definitely behind Doritos, dude. If you don't believe that, you're just caught up in the Matrix. All right? You're lost. You're a victim of the public schools. If you don't believe that George Soros is behind Doritos, what are you doing? Doritos are all part of the Jewish conspiracy, dude. Trying to get you hooked on an artificial flavor that's supposed to be nacho cheese, but it doesn't even taste like actual nacho cheese. What up, Aaron Friedman? Soros did pay heaven to derail my life. That's, but it's failing. He's just giving me extra ammunition, for my Rambo turret of arguments. Da, 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 da. Taxation is theft. Da, 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 da. I'm the real liberal. You know what it is, motherfuckers. I'm out here on this turret. Trying to build my shoulders up, get a little curl lip, write a screenplay and tell motherfuckers, hey, I'm gonna star in a screenplay. What's the fucking deal? It's gonna be me. What do you want, somebody else? No deal. All right, Jules, I'm gonna be making some gains. I got a turret of arguments. I got a whole turret of arguments. I don't know what you want to do. You want to come at me? You can torture me all you want. I'm not gonna give up the goose. I got my principles. I'm living by that Goodfellas code. Always keep your mouth shut. Never rat on your friends. But I'm getting Stallone shredded and I'm paying my rent out here, dude. It's happening. The communists can't stop it. They can't stop, the avalanche of dragon energy descending upon them. Jesse Lee Peterson would tell me to leave her. Well, yeah, it's not like we were in a monogamous relationship. That's why, it's hard to break down on stage. I got to get into so much backstory with it. We're not in a monogamous relationship. We're just roommates and, hookup friends. And I've known her for like 5 years and shit. So I'm just looking for somebody other than a Craigslist psycho to roommate with. And I knew it was going to be a disaster, but I'm just, controlling the disaster slowly, like managing the disaster, trying to stay above board on that rent. I'm an electrician calling me a beta. It is beta. It actually is beta because I need to shoulder the load of responsibility and pay my own goddamn rent and not put up with a crazy roommate. No, I'm not going to become a sodomite, Cactus Jack. This is propaganda. I will not stand for it. All right, you're playing the role of the public school right now. Oh, there's some chaos in Nick's life. He's gonna fall to the sodomites. No, all right. I'm not into butt play. I'm not even into pussy eating. That's partially why this whole thing is happening. Because heaven's mad because I don't eat pussy. But I got to be inspired to eat pussy. You got to instill me with desire to eat some pussy. Otherwise, I'm not interested. I'm doing all my work with my dick. I'm on that dick work. I wouldn't call it chaos. Losing a black is a good thing. Oh, this is why Cactus Jack is an outraged legend, dude. He's got the fucking standards. He's got his boundaries. Oh. But it is beta. Humble electrician is right. I'm depending on a woman to help me pay my rent. And I'm not taking that extra leap into chaos and risking shit in order to pay my rent by myself and really do what I need to do. You know? What up, Blossom? I see you in them high heels. I don't know why bitches wear high heels. Why are they trying to look taller? That's not attractive to me. That's a masculine trait to me. You know? Why are you trying to look taller? I don't want to fuck tall things. I like, you know, round booty, you know, brown skinned cuties. I like the thickums. You know? I don't got no problem if you know if you're like 5'1" and you're wearing heels, but any higher than that, and it's like, why are you trying to get on even eye level with me? You trying to seem more important than you are? What the fuck is going on here? You got to come correct with your arguments, baby. You know, we're not just, you know, judging the validity of what you're saying based on your height statistics. What up, Pete? I am 6'2", pushing 6'3". All right, 6'3" with shoes on, baby. Humble Electrician said, used to have horses at my buddy's uncle's stables. I was the same height as him in 5th grade. Who are you talking about? Oh, Rocky. Oh, Cactus Check was saying Rocky's 5'10". Yeah, that'll help you get shredded, dude. Shorter dudes get shredded way easier. Well, not shredded, but big. They get them, you know, them short muscle fibers, they get bulked up easier. You know, I'm that tall, lanky bastard. All right, I gotta fucking put the extra work in and eat a lot of goddamn calories. It's a burden out here to eat all this goddamn pizza and ice cream. Travis got me triggered. Never that, baby. Never triggered on the Outrage Cast. Oh, we trigger others. Blossom has entered the chat. Time to kill myself. Oh, dude. Sometimes you gotta swing a sword, dude. Swirling your natty gets it flatty. That's another flat beer theory. Man, we're just full of flat beer theory. I thought it, you know, it reignites the carbonation. Is swirling the natty making it flatty? Next on 60 Minutes, we will investigate whether the federal outrage chancellor swirls his natty. Does it make it flatty? Y'all know Pete, he's not allowed on Facebook. I got a Twitter at I am Nick Jordan. And on Instagram at Nick Jordan himself. Put a little umbrella in my beer. How dare you, Alan James? I'm on an American brewed beer here, kicking it true Americana. All right, and you want me to put an umbrella in my beer. Oh, the founding fathers are rolling over in their graves. Thank you, Cactus Jack. The good fight will be fought, ladies and gentlemen. Nitai, are you exposing the queers? Is that what's going on? Oh, when Facebook deletes your account? You're exposing the queers on Facebook. It's a very important, societal task to accomplish. The queers need exposed on Facebook. All right? There's no queer eye for the straight guy on Outrage TV. All right? The straight guy has the straight eye. All right? We got the logos. We got the arguments. All right? The gay guys, they have sodomy. They have sparkles. They have, makeup. They have spaghetti straps. They have, thong sandals. We're not about that here on Outrage TV. We're about defending Western civilization. All right? We're about calling out the cultural Marxists, the communist subverters in the universities, the fake-ass politicians taking money from the special interests and bailing out the big banks, bending over the taxpayer just to satisfy the bankers. Outrage TV needs to be on Netflix. I'm afraid it will never happen, sir. We're too against the narrative. We're not going to comply with the narrative in parentheses. Cactus Jack says, gotta support a fellow white when he realizes and rids himself of the black that was holding him back. Without heaven, I shall skyrocket to stardom. With the spirit of Western civilization and the heritage, all right, in my genetics. All right, we shall revolutionize the stand-up game. We shall get on the streets of Hollywood here and expose the communist sneakers for who they are. We're going to go on Hollywood Boulevard and ask what they think of Donald Trump. What do you think of the orange man? Oh, he's bad. Oh, tell me why. Do tell. What up, bad slave? Alex Jones will disavow me. I don't think so, dude. Because I see the Jewish topic in context. It's a lot of high IQ. It's a lot of moral relativism. It's a lot of chaos and, social anxiety. And, it's the Talmud. It's a lot of, amoral sneakery. But it's a lot of confusion at the same time. And the high IQ comes with a lot of neuroticism. Comes with that Larry David. Every Jewish person has a little Larry David in their head. And I have empathy for it, dude. I know what it's like. So I try to find the good Jews. I try to recruit them to my team. And I don't blame demographics for terrible ideologies. It's about the ideology of cultural Marxism. It's about socialism. It's about tyrannical control through government and exposing what government actually is. It's, and taxation is theft. It's exposing that. It's exposing the Federal Reserve and their principles of inflationary push it. And so I think it's a mistake to blame a demographic, you know, in general. I think the any demographic of people can be turned away from a bad set of ideas. All right? So you focus on the ideology and make fun of that. Otherwise, you know, you're not building alliances, you're just burning bridges. Oh shit, AJ is on that sleep mode. Well, I was getting ready to wrap it up anyway. I want to drink another beer. I'm good on the brews tonight, but it's been a hell of a good time. And you know, enjoyable and illustrious as always. I'm glad Cactus Jack is you know, satisfied with, you know, my moving on. My newfound isolation, you know. We're going to get a lot more shit done. That's a good recommendation. I could smoke the bowl. There is some left in the bowl, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to drink another beer, but, you know, I could kill this bowl. I could do another 20 minutes. You never know. I might have to piss again. We're doubling the stakes, dude. You think I can't take over? This is my town now. Oh, I'm the bad guy, eh? You all sit around with your meaningless lives, you leftists. You ain't got no mission, no purpose. And you look at me, you say, that's the bad guy. Huh? I'm the bad guy. You don't even think taxation is theft. Huh? I'm not the bad guy. Huh? You're addicted to power. You ain't got no principles. No cojones. I'm not the bad guy. More water, ladies and gentlemen. One last outrage piss. I'm gonna come back and read comments. You bad motherfuckers. Two scoops, two genders, 2 terms. You guys know what the fuck it is, dude. We're going in 2 scoops, baby. The president not only has ice cream every night, he said he gets not 1 scoop, but 2 scoops. This ravenous bigot just thinks that because he has this white/orange man privilege, he can sit down in the Oval Office and have 2 goddamn scoops of ice cream while he's on the clock working for the taxpayers. Oh, he doesn't actually take a presidential salary. Oh, well, he's fat. You're goddamn right, Bad Slave. Nick is going to start hitting the gym. That's right, dude. You're goddamn right. Do I pee sitting down? Why do people keep asking that on the podcast? This is not the real world sketch where the white guy comes in and Charlie Murphy looks at him like, hey, when you in here, you sit down when you pee. You know, is this not what this is, dude? All right, I pee while I'm running in place. What do you think this is? You think I'm not keeping my calves in tip-top shape? Dude, I run in place like hardcore while I'm pissing. All right? What up, Davo? I do jumping jacks while I piss. You think you can keep your stream that steady? You guys don't know what the fuck freedom is. All right, dude. I don't know why I'm putting my water up there now. I'm very high. I'm very high on the podcast. Defending Western civilization, all right? Right back to it. Let's read some comments here. What did everybody say while I was... Bradley Murray says, I would rather live under a bridge than have a nut job roommate. It's not that fun. It's not the best. But I've had worse. I had a dude from Craigslist who looked like, you know, a cross between Old Dirty Bastard and KRS-One. All right? And he, I should have did a smell test before I brought him in. You know, and it would seem like it was a personal violation if, like, he came up to the door and was like, yeah, I got money for rent and, you know, I need somebody to pay rent. And I'm like, okay, but first, lift up your arms. Like this, all right? And then I just went over and just, what do you got going there? That's not going to work, dude. That's horrible. Oh, you know, I should have did a smell test because, you know, he would go to work and then come home and he would have a jacket on and he would take the jacket off. And as he took the jacket off, like when he took the jacket off, like a James Brown concert came out of the jacket. He took the jacket off and said, hey, hey, take a shower, get on up, use some soap, get on up, wash your asshole, get on up, da 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 da. Hey, hey, funky as a motherfucker, dude. It was terrible. And he had the worst bathroom etiquette you could ever fucking imagine. This dude would take a shower, okay, leave the door closed, and sit in the room after he's done taking a shower to air dry. You could have got a towel from the dollar store, but you go air dry in a small enclosed bathroom. All you're doing is transferring your body funk onto the wall. And so this dude had his own personal fungus developing up on the wall. And it's just disgusting. And then the piece de la resistance, all right? We both get up in the morning. We both have to go to work. We both have to take showers. He gets in the shower first, all right? He's taking fucking forever, all right? Mr. KRS-One, Mr., you know, he's in there rub-a-dubbing, and he's taking fucking forever. And so I got to get to work. I got to take a shower. I'm knocking on the door. Like, hey, man, how long are you going to take? And I feel like I scared him a little bit because he was like, hope you're right out, you know. And so I go into the bathroom. He gets out. He walks past me and gives me this little look. And I was like, didn't think anything of it. Went in there. I didn't have my contacts in. I look in the tub. Didn't have my contact lenses in. Everything's blurry. I look in the tub. I look in the center of the tub. I'm like, is that a autumn leaf? Is that like a... It looks like a leaf has fallen off of this man's body and landed right in the middle of the tub. I put my contact lenses back in, take a second look into the tub. It was not a leaf. This dude had a peanut butter smudge of doo-doo sitting right in the middle of the tub. Knowing I'm about to get into the shit. How do you not notice that? Number one, that it fell out of your ass. Number two, you had to literally step around it to get out of the tub. Are you doing this deliberately? You trying to throw some doo-doo in my path, in my daily path? I'm just trying to live my life. And you got to put a doo-doo obstacle in front of me, dude. That's just... And I told that to the stripper chick that I know from Compton, and she's like, oh, I know motherfuckers who would have got killed for that. In the hood, they'll kill you for that. I had a fucking stern talking to this dude, you know, and he had to get in there and deep clean the tub. The shit we put up with to make the goddamn rent out here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I've had plenty of beers on the evening. Multiple toques of marijuana. It is 2:59 in the a.m. What was his reaction? He was, you know, oh, my bad. Like, it's just a mistake. Like, how's that a mistake? Dude. That's that Craigslist. Be careful, all right? Do the smell check up front, you know. Get some push-ups from me. Man, you got to pay for that. That's pay-per-view, all right? To get into, you know, watch my workouts, watch my legendary workouts, all right? That's live on pay-per-view only. All right, so we got to get, you know, some crowdfunding for that. You know, what I need to get is a chin-up bar that would go right there. That would be perfect. Because you'd have the perfect angle on, you know, my perfect form chin-ups where I go all the way down in slow motion. All right? And I defend Western civilization on the way back up. You know, chin-up bar right there. I bet I could get one for like $15. You know? Can't do no pull-up. What are you talking about, baby? I get a good 13 of them on that first set. You know, I'm digging them out in the slow motion. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I can dig out 13. You know, and then you do the weight assist and get 5 more. You put 25 on there. Pretend like I'm lighter than I am. Got to go all the way down to tie. That's a microcosm for life. You got to go all the way down and all the way back up. You got to start, you know, in a trailer park in Oklahoma and move your way on up to the Staples Center in LA. That's how the progression goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm entirely too intoxicated on the podcast. It's 3 a.m. I love all you bad motherfuckers. PayPal.me/Outrage TV if you want to donate to the Western Civilization Defense Fund. On Instagram, I'm Nick Jordan himself. Twitter @IamNickJordan. I'll post the full audio on all the podcast apps, Outrage Cast. Like it if you like it. Share that bad motherfucker out if you dare. All right. Hit that subscribe button. I will catch you bad motherfuckers